It is great fun to be part of this 20th annual Sounds of the Mountains Storytelling Festival. I don't know if you have had a chance to be at the festival sometime in the past 20 years, but if you have, then you know what a joyful experience it is. People gathered together at that sanctuary of Camp Bethel, just being together, sharing stories, sharing meals, sharing homemade cookies, gathered around the campfire late at night, listening to ghost stories in the dark. It is a wonderful experience. Well, understandably, we were not able to have that experience this year, but I do want to express my appreciation to the festival committee for figuring out some way for us to be together. And thank you for joining in and helping to keep the tradition going. Old adages get to be old adages because they are just so true. And one of the oldest and truest is the adage that says, "What goes around comes around." I came across a little poem, a silly little poem, that says the same thing in a slightly different way. The poem went, "The circle of life goes round and round. Live long enough, you find that it's true. The student will teach, the teacher will learn. You become your mother becomes you." And then something happened that showed me just how true that was. Something that turned into this story. When I started elementary school, the first day of school did not come in August the way it does now here in Alabama, where I live, or maybe the way it does where you live too. Back then, the first day of school always came in September. In fact, it was always the day after Labor Day. And my first day of school came the day after Labor Day, the year that I was 5. I knew my letters and numbers. I could spell my difficult to spell name. I could sit still for 10 minutes at a stretch. And so my parents and the first grade teacher and the school principal agreed that I was ready to start first grade, even though my birthday was actually 10 days past the official deadline. I thought I was ready to start school too. My 2 sisters, Lisa and Alice, had been going to school as long as I'd known them. I knew the routine. You got up at 10 minutes to 7. You raced around the house looking for your book report. You stood in front of the mirror and cried about your hair. You ran into the kitchen, ate 2 bites of toast, 3 spoons of cereal. You checked the lunch bag to be sure you had the sandwich with the mayonnaise if you were Lisa, and the sandwich without the mayonnaise if you were Alice. Kissed Mother goodbye, and then slam out the back door for the 7-block walk to school. That's all there was to it, as far as I could tell. Most mornings before I started school, I would sit there at my place at the kitchen table, sit there sleepy and silent in my red flannel nightgown, the one that turned the bed sheets pink. I would watch the drama, and then slam, they would be gone, and I would have my mother all to myself. I'd eat my cereal, she'd drink her coffee, we'd plan our day. Sometimes we'd go to the library, or we'd go to the grocery store, or I'd help her do the laundry, fold my dad's big white handkerchiefs edge to edge. Be sure you get them matched up edge to edge. Or I might help her bake a cake, stir the cake batter 100 times. I didn't know how many 100 was. I just knew it was a lot. Or if it was a pretty day, I might take Peppy for a walk. Peppy was my black cocker spaniel with the long fluffy ears and the bright brown eyes. My mother did not like dogs. We are not having a dog. But she liked Peppy. I would attach the leash to Peppy's collar, and off we'd go down the sidewalk, only as far as Miss Orphy's house. We'd get as far as Miss Orphy's house, 6 houses down. "Hi, Miss Orphy." "Hello, dear. How are you? How's your little dog?" "Peppy's fine, Miss Orphy. Peppy's fine." And Peppy was fine. Peppy didn't bark at Miss Orphy, or run through her flower beds, or make a mess on the sidewalk, or tug at his leash. Now, the fact that Peppy was stuffed might have had something to do with his good behavior, but Peppy was real enough to me. And that's how the days went, until it got to be time for my first day of school. The night before, Labor Day night, Mother set my hair with dippity-doo, helped me pick out the outfit I'd wear, red plaid dress with a bright red vest. Next morning, up at 10 minutes to 7, race around the house, run into the kitchen, eat 2 bites of toast, 3 spoons of cereal, slam out the back door for the 7-block walk to school. My 2 sisters were not going to be slowed down by dumb 5-year-old me, but my mother walked with me, holding my hand, me chattering away the whole time. Where would I sit? Who would I know there? What was she going to do all day without me? But as we got closer and closer, I got quieter and quieter, and I was starting to think maybe I wasn't so ready after all. And by the time we stood in front of that tall black wrought iron schoolyard fence, I was silent. My mother bent down to kiss me goodbye. This was way before the days of helicopter parenting. I said, "Aren't you coming inside with me?" "No, you'll be fine. Chin up, big smile. Remember everything to tell me later." Deep breath. Tap, tap, tap went my saddle shoes across the schoolyard, in the big wooden doors. 4 hours later, she was waiting for me, walking me home, me chirping away like a little bird. "The teacher was nice. I learned a new song. I got a gold star." I couldn't wait to go back the next time. And she smiled. Oh, relieved, I'm sure. I was on my way. And the circle of life goes round and round. Live long enough, you find that it's true. The student will teach, the teacher will learn. You become your mother. Your mother becomes you. And the circle of life went round and round, and more than 40 years went by, and my then 83-year-old mother left her lifetime home in Pennsylvania to move to Birmingham to live closer to me. A few months before she officially moved down here, she came down for a visit to find a place to live. We looked at we looked at thousands of places. Apartments, condominiums, duplexes. What about a tent in my backyard? I'm not a camper. Finally, we found the perfect spot, a sweet little house with a skylight, a fireplace, a shady patio. "This is a can-do," she said. We headed over to the leasing office. She filled in the application. "I have lots of good references. They're just all dead." She left a deposit, headed back to Pennsylvania to pack. My sister Lisa came to Birmingham from her home in Denver to help me get the house ready for Mother to move in. It was then I learned that my sister Lisa takes a shock and awe approach to interior decoration. Her plane landed in Birmingham at 3:20 on a Thursday afternoon. By 8:30 that night, we were heading toward the checkout lanes at Target, wheeling 2 huge shopping carts crammed full of throw rugs, draperies, curtain rods, bric-a-brac, potted palms. For the next 3 days, the magnetic strip on my MasterCard did not cool off as we acquired everything from bedspreads to begonias, all of it color coordinated. We washed and scrubbed and measured and hung and dusted and arranged and tried to get the gas turned on. Press 1 if blue flames are shooting up out of your water heater and searing off your eyebrows. Finally, everything was ready. Lisa went back to Denver. Mother came to Birmingham to stay. We found her a doctor, a dentist, a drugstore. But except for the church and the public library, she did not want to join anything. There were book clubs, women's groups, knitting clubs. "I have to get my bearings first," she said. "I'll know when I'm ready. I'll let you know." And it was 3 months before she showed me the pale green flyer from one of the local senior centers. "They have a speaker series," she said. "It's set up like a school semester. You sign up for the whole term. You go in twice a week. They have speakers on everything from politics to Persian rugs. I'd like to go." She sent in her registration. The night before the new term was to begin, I went over to her house, set her hair, helped her pick out the outfit she'd wear, the new black Chicos with a bright green jacket. The next morning, I picked her up, drove her over there, her chattering away the whole time. I had a nice letter from Aunt Eleanor yesterday. Hey, did you see there's a fella from Pennsylvania on Jeopardy this week? But as we got closer and closer, she got quieter and quieter. I could tell she was thinking maybe she wasn't so ready after all. And by the time we pulled up in front of that single-story yellow brick building, she was silent. When she saw that I wasn't parking the car, she said, "Aren't you coming inside with me?" "Oh, you'll be fine. Chin up, big smile. Remember everything to tell me later." Deep breath. Tap, tap, tap went her cane across the pavement in through the big glass doors. 3 hours later, I was picking her up, driving her home, her chirping away like a little bird. The people were nice. The speaker was good. They had good coffee. She couldn't wait to go back the next time. And I smiled. Oh, relieved. She was on her way. And the circle of life goes round and round. Live long enough, you find that it's true. The student will teach, the teacher will learn. You become your mother. Your mother becomes you.
This festival is an important fundraiser for Camp Bethel, especially this year. Our excellent sponsors stuck with us. Can you help too? Please donate using the buttons or links on this page. Thank you.
We hope the festival will be back home in person next year and need your help in getting the camp ready to reopen as soon as possible for summer camps, guest groups, and special events like the festival. Please click on the link below and make your contribution toward the work, the fun, and the fellowship that find a home at Camp Bethel. Thanks for watching, and thank you for your gift.